I feel like everybody on every level has had to adapt. Like, they're not the only ones dealing with it. We deal with it, like, as mixing engineers from what we receive from production now, and from the recording side. So,
yeah, it's been...
And everybody still wants to hear it louder. So we're kind of, like, working within it.
Yeah. From what I understand, like the top mixing engineers, like the Serbins or whatever, are sending like those -8 dB kind of mixes to their mastering engineers, and and then they get another dB or something.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah, it's wild.
It is, but that goes to also show, like I say, like, if you want to be competitive at those levels, like, you got to push it. You got to be comfortable, like, using that stereo processing, sometimes using multiband processing, but if you want to match those levels. So
right, depends on the genre, I think, and the song, but yeah, for sure. And it's so, like, it sounds like for you that does matter. So you have like you have your chain or whatever that's getting you there, whether with between the native instruments, the solid comp and the clipper. What else is on your on your stereo bus? Like, what else do you usually do?
I have a linear EQ on there, which is their low band. So a lot, again, just because mud, it builds up. So sometimes I sweep through that too. Again, their low band EQ, it gives you designated frequencies. And I'm doing maybe half a dB because, at this stage, half a dB is a lot. You're like, Again, you're like doing pseudo mastering here. And I just sweep it. It's typically somewhere between, I feel like 211 is always the number, 211 hertz or 215. And the weird thing about this plugin is it doesn't always give you the same numbers. I haven't figured out why.
This is Native Instruments?
No, this is Waves. This is Waves. Linear EQ, the low band.
Okay.
Yeah. So I also do a high pass there if it's needed because, again, there's a lot of stuff that's taking up a lot of energy that we don't even hear. We don't hear it. We don't need it. Get rid of it. You're going to get more headroom in your mixes. You're going to be able to get more dynamics. Like, you could push a little bit more. Your kick is going to come through. But again, every song is a little bit different. So I sweep through that and I will bypass it. Sometimes I'm like, okay, Daniela, you just cutting off frequencies just to do it, or did it actually need it? So I will bypass it. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's on there. And then a small reduction in like the low bands. Like I said, I'll sweep through the 200s at whatever that plugin is, the linear EQ low band. It seems to settle on like 211 a lot. So 211 hertz seems to be where, I don't know if in my mix from other bus stuff that it builds up. And then I have the solid bus comp, and I typically keep that at a 4:1 ratio. I treat it like the traditional SSL bus compressor, which when here I learned at the studios, we would always use the 4:1 ratio.
Really?
And then we would use the slowest attack time and the fastest release time. And a lot of times we'd want to get the needle somewhere between that 2 and 3, and it's only flamming at that first 4 mark, like at the hottest part of the song. And I swear by that, that's where I feel comfortable in the glue. That's like my stereo mix glue for sure. That's what glues just the mix together. And then I do have a multiband. I have the linear MB multiband on there as well, just to, again, control. And I'll bypass that sometimes if it's like, okay, this is cleaning up too much and we're taking away the groove or feeling of the song. It typically is that. But again, if this was booked to be a clean pop, song, then I'll typically have it on. And it does put put the mix in a box because I'm kind of stamping those frequency ranges with the multiband. So I may not be giving my mastering engineer as much leadway to make changes, but if the client was happy with the sound anyways, then really mastering was just going to be the final loudness and some polish, not necessarily changing the sonic tone of it anyways.
Yeah. Wow. So you have quite a lot going on. It's interesting to hear how different people do it because